That's political cowardice. That is somebody who is pretending to be a feminist, but that is fake feminism. And that's why I think that she's going to be defeated in 2020 if she decides to run again.
What did you think about that, Marie?
Yeah, I agree with Jen, my former colleague, and I think it was interesting last night when Susan Collins did an interview where she said she believed that Dr. Ford had been assaulted, but she thinks it was a case of mistaken identity. That is like trying to have it both ways, and that's statistically an incredibly rare thing. It just doesn't happen. And so for her to dismiss Dr. Ford, that she just doesn't remember, I will say there were a lot of women I know, independent women, even some Republican women, who watched Susan Collins seem to be ready to support Judge Kavanaugh no matter what came up, to discard the concerns of so many of her Republican constituents. I do, Martha. I think she will face a serious challenge in 2020. I think senators like Dean Heller
I take umbrage at the notion of fake feminism. This is a woman who is a senator in the United States Senate, and she represents her state of Maine. She weighed all of the evidence, all of the input as she saw it. So she is supposed to, just because of her gender, decide with the accuser and forget everything else that she has coming into her in terms of information and input, Marie?
Well, look, I think what happened over the last week to many people looked like a Republican Party determined to get him confirmed no matter what anyone thought, no matter if the allegations were true or not. And for a female senator, one of a very few number on the Republican side, to side with a group of male senators who said things like,
honestly,
who made fun of
I
sexual assault
don't understand what her gender, or anyone's for that matter, has to do with how they saw the information that they took in. You don't, just because you're a woman, sign a document somewhere that says that you will belie every other piece of information that has come into your brain and side with the person who's accusing simply because of your sex.
I expect women to take other women seriously, and it doesn't seem like she did here.
I think she did.
Go ahead, guys.
I don't think she did.
And she laid out she laid out a very adult, reasoned case for why she was an adult in the room. In a chamber with a lot of non-adults, she stood up and she weighed the evidence, and she explained very explicitly how she reached her conclusion. And for some people to come after her as a fake feminist because she used her independent mind to come to her own independent conclusion, I think it flies in the face of feminism. Feminism is not all women have to think the same way.
No, it certainly is not.
Feminism is that women can think whatever they want.
That's exactly right.
Thank you for giving me that explanation. I know
You're welcome. You might need it.
No, you just suggested that if you're a woman, you had to side with her.
And that's not what I said. Martha, that's not what I said. Well, then you weren't listening, because what I said was, to a lot of women, they felt like the Republican Party was not taking seriously Dr. Ford and other claims. Not that they had to automatically believe her, but the Republican Party over the last week, senators were telling women who were assault survivors they would listen to them when they grew up. Donald Trump making fun of assault survivors at a rally, that's the Republican Party that Susan Collins is so proud to be a part of. That is not feminism. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, but we're not talking about any of those things when we are looking at the case that was presented before the Senate Judiciary Committee. And the responsibility of those senators was to look at the evidence as it was presented to them and to make what I guarantee was one of the most difficult decisions they ever had to make about a future Supreme Court. And they have to do that without taking into consideration what kinds of labels and names they're going to be called and is thrown at them. And I just think, as a woman, to not respect the decision that she ultimately came to, regardless of what it was. If she had said no, I think we should respect her opinion. If she said yes, we need to respect her opinion as a woman, as a senator, as a person who represents her state.
And Martha, I will tell you, the people that I know in my life who are most fired up about this are right-leaning women who absolutely came down on this on Kavanaugh's side and were thrilled with the dispassionate case that Senator Collins built. And every female senator who's a Republican, except for Lisa Murkowski, voted for this confirmation because
I think everyone should respect Lisa Murkowski's decision as well. She did the